What's up, everybody? You know what time it is. I like how this sounds. It's Jigsaw and the bell ringer. Tony Cutillo, Dave Gloeckner. But we got to get one of those. Dave, we got to get a bell. We got to, there we go.
Oh, it's here.
I love
it's
it. See, Dave is ringing the bell. And listen, this is Win Daily Sports. And we didn't get to it last night, but we've been ringing the bell a lot lately, whether it be FFVPs, whether it be home run props, whether it be just total base props, hits props, K's props, H plus, R, you name it. Our boys in Discord are hitting on a normal. But Jimmy Wags is the turbo master, by the way. Always hitting those turbos. Rocker's kicking ass every time we turn around. Everybody's making money. So if you want to make some money too, make sure you're following Win Daily Sports. Make sure you're hopping into the Discord. Again, we're in there all the time. One of us, I love the jigsaw bike that everybody keeps throwing in there. When I hit Kiermaier the other day, and everybody threw the jigsaw bike in there. That makes me happy, man.
That same night, I had Kalenic, right? Or
yep,
yeah. We both hit a home run with their FFVP. Home runs with the FFVP.
That's the bonus. The FFVP. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm checking. It says love the O's hat. I gotta get some hats, man. Like I have tons of hats, but I'm not. I gotta start wearing hats for the streams. I do. I gotta start wearing.
My favorite MLB has so many good, like simple classic hats. The O's being one of the most classic, nice hats out there.
You know what I saw? I was on a shopping trip, and I was in an outlet lids, and they had the old school Montreal Expos, but it was a black and white Montreal Expos. It was nice, man.
Yeah,
it was nice. I was liking that. Jay checking in says great call. Yo, man. Yeah. So I don't have the FFVP calls on the website. What we do is we name an FFVP on these streams, but I also drop them in Discord and on Twitter. So if you go to Discord, what's that?
I have them on the website on Tuesdays
there you go.
Okay. Sundays. When I write my articles, the sweet spot always have a fantasy value and pitcher player. So look at the articles definitely Tuesdays and Sundays. We'll try and get them up there more during the week for sure.
Yeah, Dave is the article guy. So listen, I will say this is great. I started this FFVP mantra like 3 years ago, and it's caught on, and it's great. And now everybody, we've adopted it as a Win Daily family, and everybody's kind of doing it. It's a value player to help you get the cash. So if Dave throws them in his articles, for me personally, I put mine on Discord in the props section, the home run props, and also in the MLB section. So make sure you check it out. And again, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, hitting that like button. We greatly appreciate it. But Dave, we got a 5-game Thursday afternoon. So it's going to be hot on the East Coast. It's going to be almost 90 on Friday. And Dave, what happens when it gets humid on the East Coast?
The ball starts flying, my friend. And yes, you need even a little bit more summertime humidity to help that go as well, but it's going to pop. I think we're going to have some definitely inflated, and you are seeing the run scored up over the first month of the season. I think we're going to see the home runs go up even further with this hot weather. I agree.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Shorty checking in says 2 of the most favorite dudes on YouTube. Love it. Shorty, I hope you're not working too hard tonight. I know you're a light worker. You're a grinder. So shout out to you as well, as always. But Dave, let's get right into it. There's only 5 games. So, we don't have to go who we get. Like just right off the bat, man, like just pitching. Where are we going for pitching on this 5-game featured slate?
Yeah, so as people know, when you play shorter slates in every sport, it gets even that more critical to hit certain areas. So with baseball, it's pitching. Sometimes you can get a little bit off. You don't need the top pitcher on the slate with a bigger slate. That's not the case in a 5-game slate. So you're really going to have to nail the top 2 pitchers. And off the bat, you got to roll with Lodolo. He's going against my Phillies. I get it, but the kid is special. Lefty that just throws gas, 21 Ks in 12 innings. And the Phillies are striking out a lot. 6th in K rate in the MLB. Lodolo's done nothing but to show you that he's here to stay. 12 innings so far pitched. Like I said, I think that's a good sign for a young lefty. They're actually stretching him out, pitch count too. So I think we got to go with the top guy on the slate just because of that K potential. He's the highest K potential. And then when I go a little further, I do like Joe Ryan, but I'm actually going to go with my second is Montgomery out of St. Louis. I think a good matchup against Pittsburgh. Last year, they were one of the worst batting teams against lefties. Ever since he came over from the Yankees in a trade, his ERA in St. Louis has been sub-3, and actually it's closer to low 2. So he's been fantastic. He's been everything they needed out of an ace now this year. So I like Montgomery and Lodolo. I'm not sure how much else different I'm going to get off those two. That's where I'm standing.
It's hard, man. It's 5 games and it's 5 pitchers. So here's the thing, though. You need to hit. Like you need to. This isn't as much as we always talk about those 10 gamers, 12 gamers get a little different here, there, multiple. This you need to hit. You need to hit it right. A 5 gamer, and I agree with Dave. You know, you listen. You just go right from the top, and it sucks that we're talking about against the Phillies, but it is what it is, man. We're even though we're Philly guys, we're extremely unbiased when it comes to betting on fantasy.
Yeah, and you saw it, like, they did hit Alcantara, but, I mean, you know,
They always do, though, for some reason.
but they come back, and Luzardo has a good game. A guy that's walked the whole world twice, had, I think, 15 walks coming in the game today, you know, shut down the Phillies offense and Edward Cabrera. So, it is an offense that's, you know, kind of all or nothing right now. 15 runs,
really
then nothing. Like, you know, it's so I think Lodolo can shut him down. If I am going to venture into like waters that aren't Lodolo Montgomery, I will consider Chris Bassett against Detroit. You know, he's had a bad start to the season, but, you know, we have seen him perform for the Mets last season. He's still young, and he's getting one of the worst hitting, well, the worst hitting team in the major. So I could see myself getting different with Bassett a little bit. And if I really had to dip, I'll consider Nick Martinez. I just don't love it for Milwaukee. Here's the reason I don't love San Diego, and you might do this too, Tony. They're coming off an East Coast swing. They played New York today. They played Atlanta before that. It's their first game back from a long trip, first night sleeping in their own bed. Sometimes teams just kind of don't perform on that first night. So I'm trying to fade a little bit of San Diego tomorrow.
Yeah, I really like Bassett. I was dead wrong on Alek Manoah the other night, but a lot of people were wrong on him. Who would have thought? But I really like the spot for Bassett. I think you talk about a rebound game against Detroit at home. I think this is the kind of game that he needs. Now, we're talking about some bats here, Dave. I mean, again, still only 5 games. Before we get to some FFVPs, you know, are we stacking any teams on this slate, or are we kind of, you know, get different? Now, I will tell you, and it actually, everybody's different. Okay, this is what I will tell you. In the Win Daily Sports family, everybody's a little different, right? Everybody has their own. Listen, we have a common system, but at the same time, we get a little different. We veer off into our own little shell. And I like the combo in the lineups. Like the other night, I had 2 Rangers. I had 2 Twins. I had 2 Cardinals. Instead of going for a full stack, I kind of, if I like guys enough, I'll go 2-2-2. But for a 5-gamer, Dave, what are we thinking here?
Yeah, and I'm definitely going with a 4-piece somewhere. And really, you know, we like to talk about our boy Patrick Corbin on the show, but he's not going tomorrow. My second favorite punching bag in the MLB is Vince Velasquez, and he's pitching against the St. Louis Cardinals, another team that's coming off a mini road trip coming back from Colorado, but it's not that long of a flight back. I think they can adjust quickly. And there's some guys with really good numbers off Vince. You know, looking at Tyler O'Neill, 3 for 4, Tommy Edman, 3 for 6. And then I like the 2 other guys that I guarantee will be in the lineup because they're younger. Burleson in the outfield at 3,200, big hefty lefty that they spot in the 2-hole sometimes. He'll go against a righty for sure. And then Jordan Walker, he just won't stop, right? 12-game hitting streak now to start his career, but to start his MLB season here. So, you can get cheap with the St. Louis stack and then go pound Toronto. And that's what I'm looking to probably try and do. Stay off the Goldschmidt, Arenado kind of piece, trying to get a little cheaper on the St. Louis and pay up for Toronto.
I like it. And Vinny Velo is coming off a bad wrist too. So X-rays were negative, but it's still a little banged up. I like Juan Yepez in there to go long as well.
That's good too.
I like that play right there. I don't know what the odds are yet. And again, we'll pop in and we'll throw some home run props in there once those odds are kind of set and out. But nah, Dave, I completely agree. Let's get to some value. Let's get to some FFVPs. Now, the FFVPs, again, this is a guy, I say it all the time. You'll see when I tweet it out, we put it in Discord, positive point production. You want a guy that's going to be able to get you everything: hits, runs scored, stolen bases, something to get you a positive point production and no zero for low ownership and low money. He give you the best rewards because that's the kind of guy different. Not because I picked him, but Kiermaier the other night, I did not expect him to get a home run. He only had a 7% ownership and got a 14 at 2,600. That's the kind of guy that wins you a contest. Dave with Kalenic, another guy, low ownership, under, not double-digit owned, okay, single-digitly owned, okay, and low value, extremely high reward. So really have to look at that. Dave, I'll tell you, this was tough.
Don't take my guy. Don't take my guy.
Well, we'll go. What I actually have like 3 guys. Okay.
All right.
And it's the first time ever. So I'll let you go because I don't want to take your guy because I was tossed. I said, you know what? It's Thursday. Screw it. I'm going 3. Who you
All
got?
right. I'll give you one first, maybe give you my second. This guy rang the bell today for the New York Yankees, has rang it 2 games in a row and has 4 homers on the season. I'm going Frenchie Cordero.
Yes.
Yes, the big Yankee first baseman. They plugged him in the middle order, and he's starting to pay off. Still under our threshold to make him an FFVP. He's 2,800. Going into tomorrow, yes, he's facing Joe Ryan, but, hot Yankee Stadium, short porch, lefty. Love it. I think Frenchie Cordero is in a good spot. Again, paid off. I had a home run prop on him today. He was plus 475. I could see him getting it 3 days in a row, but either way, production. That's what we're looking for. I think we'll get that out of Cordero.
And listen, he was on my list. He was one of my 3.
That's all right. Good.
It was so I'm glad you went. Well, here's the thing. Like Dave saw, I'm not even looking at home runs, and that's the thing because I'm looking at a guy who's hit safely in 5 of his last 6 games, or 4 out of 5. I'm sorry, 4 out of 5, and he's not only doing it with the home run, but he's got 3 games where he's got more than 1 RBI. He's walking. He's only averaging 1 strikeout. So this is the kind of guy you want to look at when we talk about positive point production. Now, Dave, I'm going to go with a guy who's actually decided to steal a job. Okay. And he's going against our Philadelphia Phillies. Okay. And I'm pretty sure he's still going to be in the lineup tomorrow. And that's Jose Barrero. And, listen, he is taking this job and running with it away from my man, Kevin Newman, and 28 points in his last 2 games, 3 hits in his last 2 games. And he's going up against my man, Bailey Falter. Now, Bailey Falter has pitched pretty decently already. Okay. But he's a flat pitcher. He throws a flat ball, and you're playing in Great American Ballpark. So I'm telling you now, not expecting a home run, but I'm expecting at least a 2 for 4 kind of game. Stolen base, RBI. Next thing you know, you're in double digits for 2,400, Dave.
I like it. That's a really good point, and especially in Cincinnati, that bandbox, you never know. You could get one up in the air of Falter. That thing's going out in that short porch. So I like it. I don't really have a second yet. I mean, those guys that I really like from the Cardinals just go over our threshold at Jordan Walker 31, Burleson 32. So I'll let you tee off the next 2.
So here's the reason why I went 3. I loved my man Franchi, right? I saw that, but you have him, great. So a word team, I love it. And then I was like, I saw Barrero going to go into Falter, but then how do I not go back to the well again and go with Double K and go with Kevin Kiermaier again against Spencer Turnbull, who's given up 13 hits in 7 innings. This is the kind of guy I want to attack, and Kiermaier is still only 2,600. So again, I don't expect him to go long, but I'm telling you, 8 to 12 is going to be the baseline tomorrow for Kevin Kiermaier. Okay, again, so cheap against a guy who probably, Dave, me or you, might be able to get a wiffle ball bat and take a couple swings.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah, you got to go back to the well when the well's working, but going against Turnbull, who sounds like he should be in some other sport. I like that play. Hey, if we're going to go 1, let's think about the Phillies. All right, I'm going to throw in a second one. All right.
Oh, I like it.
And I know we're going against Lodolo, but there's a couple guys that they're going to plug into the lineup tomorrow that probably has some FFVP value. So keep an eye, on Josh Harrison or Edmundo Sosa. I think from the right side, I think we could get some value low in the Phillies lineup. One of those 2 guys popping in, I think could be also a nice one. Oh, Brandon Belt. Good call there.
I looked at Brandon Belt too. The only thing I didn't like about Belt was I feel like Belt is power or nothing sometimes. So I try to get guys who are more of a contact approach. That's just that's just me. It all depends on obviously who they're going up against. Again, they're going up against Turnbull, right? So again, but for me, I look at a guy. He had 3 hits last game, but before that, nothing but zeros. So again, maybe he's off the schneid a little bit. And he's going up against a guy who obviously me or you could probably hit against. So I like the call. This could be a day we get a dinger as well. So you never know.
Yeah, I like it. And especially what I like about that is if I'm going to use a Toronto stack, he's going to be probably somewhere in the 5-6 range of that order. So you could probably pay up for a couple of those bats like Chapman, Guerrero, and cheap it out with Belton, have still a good balanced Toronto stack. So even if I don't use him, FFVP, yep, there you go. Get him.
There he goes. And that's why Ivan's the man right there. Him and Dave right on the same page.
Yep.
100%. 100%. And it's a way to get different. The reason why the FFVP was built. Dave, final thoughts.
It's going to be, like you mentioned, weather is going to be popping over the weekend, and we're going to just start to see some different matchups too. Teams are starting to, travel out. Philly's just had 2 straight home series, going out to Cincinnati, so starting that trip there. So we're going to see a little bit different baseball over the weekend, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see, as we get these different matchups, how we start to assemble that data and make it functional for us. But right now, like Tony said, we're on to a few different things, and it's been working well. And follow us in the Discord. We're posting props every single day.
It's fun, man. It's fun. We got a lot of big things planned, a lot of things coming up. But most importantly, give us a follow, Win Daily Sports. Get on the website, windailysports.com. Make sure you sign up for that free membership. Win big. And then after that, $5.99 a week. We can't get that deal anywhere else across the internet. So, as always, it's Thursday. 5 games in this slate for the featured on DraftKings. Let's have some fun. Let's make some money. Let's stay safe. Let's stay healthy. We'll catch you back here next time.